Good morning everyone, my name is Perlandri Diribay and I am from BSED English 2. Today I am going to talk about one of the philosophical foundation of education. But first, I would like to let you know that there are 4 philosophical perspectives currently used in educational settings. Those are essentialism, perennialism, progressivism, and social reconstructionism. Perennialism promotes the search for teaching and learning of universal truth that transcends chronological periods. Perennialists contend that these principles have eternal value in assisting mankind in solving issues regardless of time or place. Perennialism values knowledge that transcends time. This is a subject-centered philosophy. The goal of a perennialism educator is to teach students to think rationally and develop minds that can think critically. You may observe that perennialism appears to be similar to essentialism at first look. Perennialism emphasizes the student's own development rather than abilities. Perennialism promotes liberal arts education, which helps students become well-rounded persons with a broad understanding of arts and sciences. Perennialism could be a good thing in the classroom. The teachers are very traditional and will always challenge the students to use critical thinking to solve problems in and outside of class. They prefer teaching math, reading, and sciences, and believe that knowledge should be everlasting. Other people may not notice it, but there are various of activities used under perennialism, specifically in the early grades to prepare students in later grades to study literature, history, and philosophy. Some examples of activities are reading, writing, speaking, and listening, because the goal of a perennialist education is to teach students to think rationally and develop minds that can think critically. Perennialists think that education should be centered on principles that have stood the test of time. They believe that ideas are just as relevant and important today as they were when they were penned. They advise pupils to gain knowledge through reading and understanding the works of history's greatest philosophers and writers. Perennialist curriculum is a subject-centered lessons, organized body of knowledge, and focuses on developing the thinking skills of students. Why is it important to have philosophy of education? Through philosophy, you can ensure that your student not only retains his academic knowledge from all his completed grades, but also develop a sense of human values and ethics. These personal values provide a better upbringing for them to cope in the later years of their life. Who is perennialism's forefather? Perennialism began as a religious movement pioneered by Thomas Aquinas in his treatise De Magistro in the 13th century, or The Teacher. The idea of a university written by John Henry Newman in the 19th century was his justification of religious perennialism. While Robert Hutchins and Mortimer Adler were two of the biggest proponents of perennialism within education. What are the advantages of perennialism? There are plenty of advantages in perennialism. First, it develops good disciplines for their students. Second, it believes that knowledge should be everlasting. Third, students become problem solvers. Fourth, they teach from the great books. Fifth, it emphasizes on the humanities like math, reading, and sciences, and etc. What are the disadvantages of perennialism? Just like any other matter in life, perennialism also have its downsides or the disadvantage. Some of it are, they are conservative, are not very flexible, philosophy disregards technology, and its structured lessons and drills. Let's come now on my verdict about this topic or about this philosophical foundation of education. First, for me it is really beneficial because all of the information and the resources are relevant given that all books and information were been effective ever since it was created or written. However, the downside of this is that it may be not flexible enough because it may not be open to technology given that students are continuously improving and changing and they have different certain learning capabilities because students are different from one another. It's okay to teach traditionally and learn traditionally, but it's better if we will try to go beyond the box, go beyond the normal, because as technology upgrades, There are also various kinds of ways to teach and learn in today's generation, given that students may learn advanced or late depending on the type of teaching strategy used by the nurturers. Like, for example, in this pandemic, it's advisable to utilize online teaching, online learning. Yes, some of those traditional materials and traditional strategies can be used online, but it cannot determine an effective learning and effective teaching, because there are students can learn and cope up that easily with this type of setup, but some may not, given that all students are different and have different learning capabilities and learning progress. So the teachers should adapt to the technology, adapt to the new ways in order for them to provide quality education and nurture the students effectively. And they can also reflect to the students' performances if they are teaching them efficiently and effectively, if their ways were that effective enough for them to provide the education that students deserve. All in all of that philosophical foundation of education have their downsides and pros. It's up to the nurturer and the students on how they will handle it and how they utilize it. Because I do believe that learning is everlasting. Learning is continuous because we learn as we grow. It's ageless. Everyone can improve, because for me, there's always a room for improvements and for more progress. And no matter how big or small the progress is, it's still progress. So we should continue in believing ourselves and to be better and to perform better. Thank you, everyone. Once again, I'm Pearl Andre Diribay from BZ English 2. Have a nice day. God bless.